So the singer starts out the song saying that he used to rule the world, and it's a hyperbole, so it's an over-exaggeration to emphasize his nostalgic tone. So by saying that he used to rule the world, it's almost like him saying he had everything. The hyperbole following, which is also a bit of imagery, was that the seas would rise when he gave the word. So he's so powerful, or was so powerful, that even parts of the world, parts of nature would move when he spoke, which is also a biblical allusion, because it says in the Bible that like God spoke and the seas came about. The next part is a little bit more on tone. So he says, "Now in the morning I sleep alone, sweep the streets I used to own." So by saying now, it's contrasting. I used to rule the world, seas would rise, but now I'm completely by myself, and the streets I sweep instead of owning. I used to roll the dice is a metaphor, just about taking chances. 1 minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me. That is a juxtaposition that goes back to the beginning. And then my castles, that's a symbol for everything that he put his worth and value in. And they used to stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. So it was things that he put his worth in and value in that didn't actually matter. It says, "I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing." Jerusalem bells is a biblical allusion as well, as is Roman cavalry, as is mirror, my sword and shield, related to the defense that God supposedly gives people. Once you go, there was never an honest world, and that was that was when I ruled the world. So what he's saying is that once, even though he was king, there was nothing honest about the way he was living. Like, yes, it seems glorious, but it's not actually. So that's irony. Then we get to the next verse, and it says, "It was a wicked and wild wind," which is a personification because wind cannot be wild. But it shows how much of an effect it had. Shattered windows and the sound of drums are both imagery. Shattered windows is visual, and the sound of drums is auditory. Come to the next part. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just held on a lonely string. So revolutionaries wait is a historical allusion. It's talking about a generalization of kings and how overthrowing the government usually goes. Head on a silver plate is kind of a double allusion because it's talking about guillotining kings, possibly French Revolution, and it can also be related to John the Baptist when the king wanted his head on a silver platter and got it. Just a puppet on a lonely string is a metaphor because that is how he felt. He felt like he was being controlled as the king, or the singer does. He feels like he was being controlled as the king and not really having any company. Then we get to the chorus again. It repeats twice, but in this one it says, "St. Peter won't call my name," which is a allusion to Jesus, and when Jesus said, "You will doubt me, you will deny me," and Peter denies him 3 times. And so he's saying, even though I felt so important, Peter even denied me. And "never an honest word" goes back to the beginning, and then the chorus repeats again. And then, so for Soapstone, the speaker is a man who is formally in power, and he's reflecting on what it was like to be in power. The occasion is since the man has now lost his power, he's nostalgic about his previous life, and he cannot really decide which is better, but his tone reflects something else. But the audience is the entire human population. Everyone experiences what it feels like to be important and to lose that feeling, and also the contrast between, is it better to be wealthy and have everything but have nothing emotionally, or to be poor, sweeping the streets, and have everything emotionally? The author's trying to decide if being in power but controlled and lonely is better than being free. He says he used to feel like a puppet on a lonely string, which he contrasts with 1 minute I held the key. Although he does not discuss the pleasures of his current life, he juxtaposes how truly he misses his powerful life and how it was versus the benefits of it. Subject. The subject is self-definition of power structure, like Invisible Man. It is the ongoing argument between power and weakness, and which makes you actually a better human. The author has a vacillating tone. He's torn between feeling comfortable with his new life when he considered what his life used to be.